Hello everybody, welcome back to some StarCraft 2. We're still in the real HomeStory Cup, Group B, and we have Spirit Protoss versus Lambo's Terran. I'm not sure. I'll tell you after this game if they were still playing for a spot in this group. But both of these players are off-racing in tournament. That is honestly kind of cool. Refreshing to see. So we'll see if Spirit has a sick Protoss or that Lambo has a sick Terran. I kind of feel like this does favor Spirit in a way, because Spirit plays Terran usually, whereas Lambo plays Zerg usually. And so Spirit at least knows this matchup from the other side, but maybe that does actually work into Lambo's advantage. He might have a very spicy take on the TVP matchup that Spirit doesn't know anything about. So we'll see. That can happen, right? Where Lambo might play the matchup wrong, but since Spirit doesn't main Protoss, it's way harder for him to punish it. Even though both of these players are obviously 6k and above with all races, and they're pro players and have been for a while now, it's still pretty difficult to punish some things if it's not your main race. You'll just be a little bit too slow with certain things, or it's too hard to recognize. You know, you have to do a lot more with kind of, instead of knowing exactly what's going on. So no gateway units out yet for Spirit here. But we also don't see any Reapers, so Spirit correctly identifying that since Lambo made a reactor, he's not going to be making Reapers. And so Spirit doesn't want to make a unit. Would have been kind of interesting if Lambo went for a double Reaper here. That would delay his factory a lot. But then this Stalker would be like, I guess like 3/4 of the way done, and then 2 Reapers show up into your natural, shooting your probes. That sounds like a fun cheese for on the ladder. Now we do have 4 Marines out here with more underway, Widowmine underway with a starport, so we're going to see a Marine Widowmine drop, I suppose. With a nice bunker in the front, making sure that this Protoss can't do anything dirty with a second gateway that perhaps Lambo hasn't seen yet. It also allows him to make a few less units if he wants to, but he still seems to be making some of those Marini boys. Second orbital is done. 2 gases are on their, or working their way into mining gas for Lambo, I know. Crazy. And we have a Widowmine here in the mineral line, which is very cheeky. If an Oracle happens to wander over, it might just die. You know, if an Oracle gets a little bit too opportunistic. For now, it's just this Phoenix, though, going to scout around, and perhaps this signals that Spirit is looking to go into Colossus Phoenix. Ooh, Phoenix gets a lot of shots off on this medevac. Nice job here by Spirit. And another Phoenix does get started up. This... Oh, 1 Marine dies, but does confirm that there is a third base. This makes it very difficult for Lambo to go and actually do this drop. The medevacs already have health, or 2/3. We do see 2 more barracks underway here, and we see a Cyclone as well. Very nice unit to shoot down the Phoenix. This is still the older Cyclone, I'm pretty sure. So not the new Marine like Cyclone that can be reactored out, but this one still requires a tech lab. So we do see it here on patrol. It's very good at warding away a couple of Phoenix, 1 or 2 Phoenix or Oracles. Do see Twilight Console going down here, so even though we have Phoenix, we do not have a Robo facility yet. But we do see Zealot charge upgrade here with a forge. So probably going to go into +1 armor. And on Lambo's side, we see +1 attack from the engineering bay and a Raven as well. So making sure that he is able to find any observer, and the lockdown ability is still in play here. So if there is this 1 or 2 Colossi that could be produced... Oh my god, that's what... How many gateways? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On top of the 6, 7, 8 gateways. That's 9 gateways. Spirit is not going to have any trouble warping in a billion bajillion zealots, and that's the build. He's only on 2 gas here. I bet he could even afford a 4th nexus just to put all these extra probes on right now, because he's just making more probes than he can actually afford to mine with. That's so many gateways. Cannon going down in the 3rd base, and here's a move out from Lambo. 3rd being built on location. That's some Zerg flair right there. And 1 Phoenix gets annihilated. Completely obliterated. +1 is about to finish. Combat shield's about to finish. So this is a pretty nice timing for the Terran player here. Or, well, usually Zerg player, but now playing Terran. Let's zoom out a little bit to see what's at stake. Nice Dorito cannon here, lowering the armor of all these zealots. So if Lambo can force the issue here, that will be really nice, kiting back to make sure that the charge is on cooldown and the zealots stop charging, and then they're just running in like ducks, ready for the slaughter. Nice kiting by these Marine Marauder force. The Dorito cannon minus armor doing work, especially with this +1 attack on the Terran units. It's like a 4 upgrade difference, and the Protoss units are melting. The shield battery was used. I did not see a nuclear battery, but maybe Spirit used his energy on Chrono Boost instead of that nuclear battery. And the Terran forces have been thinned out quite a bit, but if we look at the army supply, Lambo has a quite substantial army here. And even though Spirit has more units, and he can produce a lot of units all at once, ooh, he also has a Robo now. Immortal underway. 1 gateway is going to go down. Couple mines here to anchor this force, and Lambo's stepping on his throat a little bit. And how is Spirit going to fight back? Charge zealots come in from both sides. Mines unburrow to make sure that they can get great hits, pretty decent hits here. And Lambo did manage to thin out the zealot count, but 3 bases full of minerals just being dumped into zealots. Means that Spirit can produce these for days. 8 gateways right now, and another one underway. Means that he can spam out those boys just fine. Actually going into attack upgrades, a little bit surprising to me. I kind of feel like if you're gonna make that much, like that many zealots, it might be good to get armor, but he's getting attack upgrades to make sure that these ranged units behind do a lot of damage when the zealots buy time. Nice splits here from Spirit, but the zealots also get slowed now because concussive shell was done. So when the charge ability from those zealots has been used and is on cooldown, they are just kind of ready to get picked off because they can't go anywhere. They're just stuck there. They're just slowed and kind of twiddling around. 3rd base is up for Lambo, completely done. 4th base underway. We see +1 armor is done, but no +2 just yet. Ghosts have been added into the mix. First Colossus is here. Colossus range not done. 7 zealots are warped in at the 3rd base for a nice surround. Units from the main join the main force, and the Protoss moves in onto the Terran here. Widow mines have already been used. Zealots are being pulled back to get regenerated by that shield battery. Nice engage by Spirit. Keeps his Colossus alive. Keeps his Immortal alive. Keeps his Stalkers alive. Only using the Zealots as, well, meat shield. Kind of like a Zerg uses his Zerglings. But Lambo taking a pretty convincing supply lead here, shaving off a lot of units from the Protoss player, and not necessarily the power units. The Protoss player just hasn't really been producing a lot of those, just prioritizing getting out a lot of zealots. And hoping to get good concaves and engagements with those zealots. And we do see Blink underway, and one by one the Colossus are trickling out. But we do have 4 Vikings underway at a time. Ghosts have been added. 2-2 is underway. And I feel like once Lambo hits max, he should be able to roll over Spirit here. Unless Spirit takes a really nice engagement before the Vikings join the army. Or if perhaps Spirit has charge, Storm or Disruptors. Some kind of splash damage that can kind of like give you that comeback potential to take a really efficient fight. +1 armor now underway with a secondary forge. So any second that goes by is a good second for Spirit now for him to catch up with the supply and the upgrades. 2 more robos underway here for Spirit. So if he pumps out a couple disruptors / colossi, he has a pretty good chance here, but for now, still 40 to 50 supply behind. Nice run by here by Spirit, buying some time. Lambo coming back with all of his units here. And then denied mining a little bit at that secondary base. More barracks are underway. 2-2 is ready for Lambo, and 1, 2, 3, 4 command centers in a Spirit game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not quite 8. Lambo, please. I'm thirsty. I'm parched, as the British say. 1 Disruptor's chilling out here. EMPs the Disruptor to take away all the shields, and then stims in to clean up the job. No snipe with the Disruptor Novas there. And oh my god, the Vikings were out and about hunting for those juicy Colossi. And now the Robos get unpowered and destroyed. These 2 Colossus trying to get work done, but the Vikings are zoning them out. And now the 3rd base of the Protoss is in peril and is just getting destroyed. Probes try to get away here. Big zealot run by in the natural here from Lambo. So maybe Spirit can get something done there. 4th base is now also in peril. And the Vikings are here. That's not enough Stalkers to kill those Vikings before all of the Colossus go down. So this is a great moment for Spirit to throw down another Robo and make more Colossi. But he just lost his 4th base to the Bioforce. And I don't know if he has enough grit to stay in this game or just enough money. 31 probes and 35 SCVs go down, so that's a drink. That's 2 drinks. Enjoy. On Lambo's side here, we see +3 attack come in, making those Marines ever more potent. And +2 attack for the Vikings if they ever need to be rebuilt. Right now, I don't think we have any of them. Maybe 1. No, actually 0 Vikings right now. We do see Disruptors here on the field being made 1 by 1. Because those 2 Robos at the 3rd were destroyed by Lambo here. Lambo sitting pretty on his 4th base, taking a 5th now. Has this nice PF on his 4th base as an anchor for him to fall back to. But now he is on the prowl. Moving in. Oh, big Disruptor ball. Oh, the Disruptor gets taken down just before the Nova explodes. And again, nice targeting by Lambo. Targets down both of the Disruptors and is way ahead in supply. So Spirit is forced to tap out. As Lambo takes the first game after forcing Spirit to GG out after sniping his Disruptors in that first game. on hard lead. Now we are here on the second map. It's Hecate. And Spirit is playing Zerg versus the Terran of Lambo. Now, I looked it up. Both players were 1-1 in their groups, so this was actually a pretty important match. And we've already seen that Lambo played first Creator and lost 1-2. I'm sorry if this is a spoiler. And we also saw Lambo take down Clem 2-1. So we've seen all Lambo's games, but we haven't seen Spirit's games. Spirit won 2-0 versus Skillus. And then he lost 0-2 to Creator. So they're both 1-1 right now. And Lambo's looking a little better there because he took a game off Creator. And he, of course, won versus Clem. Clem being one of the favorites of the group. And so they asked the admin to coin flip for them between 3 options. They wanted to play a PVT. They wanted to play a normal TVZ. So their usual races. And they wanted to play a reverse. And so first they played the PVT that we just saw. And now they play the reverse main match. And so if Spirit wins this one, they will play a normal match as a tiebreaker for whom wins this best of 3. So let's see what Spirit's Zerg can do. So we see 2 queens waiting to get down that third. Reaper's underway. And for Lambo, we see a Reaper into a Marine with factory follow-up. So pretty standard. Some Terrans like to skip the Marine nowadays in favor of a really fast factory with a slightly earlier gas. We saw Clem do that versus Lambo a lot. Okay, let's see what the Reaper does. Oh, no, you can't lose anything to a Reaper. Or you can't lose the Reaper either. Like, this is a thing, like a stick of pride here. Or I don't know how you say it. But it's a matter of pride. Because if you lose the Reaper, you're never going to hear the end of it. But if you lose a drone to the Reaper, you're also never going to hear the end of it. Because both players complain about this very moment. As a Zerg player, I'm like, oh, the Reaper's so annoying. Just go away. You're not supposed to kill a drone or a Zergling anyway. And then the Terran is like, you're not supposed to kill my Reaper, but, you know, sometimes I get stuck behind a mineral patch, or the Queen pops in a weird position, or somehow I get stuck behind the Zerglings. Oh, it does not get the Creep Tumor cancel. That's always super annoying when that happens. Third command center underway for Lambo. Really quick here. Starport underway. We see a tech lab on that barracks. Actually, the second Marine was cancelled in favor of a quicker CC or other building. And we do see 2 Hellions already on the map. So Lambo, a fan of just rallying those to the other side of the map. Speed almost done, however. Spirit is mining 3 with 3 drones on gas. So he might be planning on getting some earlier tech, or perhaps even a Rojvarren. But it can also just be double upgrades. You can use that 1 gas, fill it up, and then as soon as you have like 150 gas, I think it is, you throw down 2 Evos, and then when they finish, you have 250 gas, and then you can get double upgrades. But instead, he's going for a quick lair. Loving this. We might see a quick 6 gas as well for a 3-base Muta opener, which is the spiritual successor to the 2-base Muta opener from Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty, of course. We do see double Evo here, and let's see how many gases we get. We get 2 gases over here in the natural, nothing more. And a 4th base as well. Interesting. So maybe the lair is just for Baneling speed, where we will see a Banelingness go down shortly. Otherwise, I'm not sure what he's going to use it for. Oh my god, that's a lot of Hellions, though. That's 8 Hellions and a Reaper just running by. The drones have already been pre-split, ready for the slaughter. Not enough Lings here, and we see a lot of Lings being built. Liberator going down, or putting down a liberation zone, freedom for everybody, but especially the Terrans. And these Hellions are just denying any mining in this main base. A lot of Zergling just spawned. Hellions get decent hits. Oh my god, that's 16 drones. That's 2 kills on this Liberator. A couple more. 18 drones, 19 drones, 20 drones. Cheers to everybody still following along with the drinking game. Oh my god, and Spirit is just being pulled apart. This feels like your first ZVT of the day. You just started laddering like, oh, I'm really feeling it. I feel like playing some nice and fun StarCraft 2. And you get a Terran and you're like, oh, ZVT, that's a fun matchup. You know, I get to play some Ling Bane, Muta, or Hydra, or whatever your cup of tea is right now. And then, the first Reaper, like, kills a drone and you're like, oh, okay, I'll be fine. And then the first Hellions, like, snipe a creep tumor and you're like, oh, no. And then, like, 8 Hellions show up and you were supply blocked, so you don't quite have enough Zerglings, and then you're like, oh! And then you lose a bunch of drones, and then you just rage, and you make just too many Lings. So now you do clean up the Hellions, but you just don't have any drones anymore. And then the effing Liberators are like in your third base, and you just didn't notice it because you were crisis management mode versus those Hellions, and it's just a rough one. Oh, you just feel like you didn't really get to play the game. You just... Every punch the Terran threw at you was on your nose. Stimmarines running into the third base, or fourth base here. Trying to focus down these queens, but don't get anything done. Spirit recovered decently well in the worker count here, but it's still not super pretty because he's very low on gas. 1-1 about to finish, so still keeping up in the upgrades decently well. Another Liberator zone here at the fourth base. So bloody annoying. And at the front, Lambo is just being relentless with the aggression. He's like, I'll show you some Thesagi. Terran Imba is what that means, I think. Now we see some Baneling running in down here to stop this other force of Marine Mine. And the mines are trying to get decent hits here, but I feel like that was a good cleanup for Spirit. Still a little behind in the workers of where he wants to be. Another force trying to run up into the fourth base, cleaning up creep for now. And we see no 2-2 started for Spirit. He's kind of slipping. Whereas we look at Lambo, he's just chilling. Fourth base is down with a PF starting. 2-2 halfway done. 3 mines at a time with drilling claws. I feel like the next attack could just break the back of Spirit. But he is taking a 5th base. So if he gets a pretty good engage on creep, like Banelings are a hell of a drug. They can do a lot against these Terran forces. And this is what we like to see. Small Baneling run by into the third that is undefended right now. And that is how you can definitely get back into this game. Let's zoom out a little. Bane is ready to actually surround the Terran forces here. Banelings rolling. Oh my god, the Widow Mines get ginormous hits. Ooh, what? Oh my god. Everything just explodinated. Those were like the best Widow Mines of your life. 22 and 18 kills. And we almost saw a Stefano for GG where the medevacs were almost blown up by the Widow Mines. And we did see those Bane go in, but it seems like Lambo actually pulled away his workers there and didn't take a lot of damage. We see one SCV died, so it did no damage whatsoever. And I am fearing the worst for Spirit. I feel like he needs to mount some type of advantage or attack. Because he's just kind of getting torn apart by these Terran units and he's slipping further and further behind. He's behind in the upgrades. He's behind in supply. Lambo's actually goddamn maxed. Damn, you show him how hard it is to play Zerg, Lambo. It's, of course, a little bit embarrassing to lose the reverse race show match. Or, well, it's just a match. They're playing in tournament, guys. Ooh, big engagement off of creep here. Whittle mines blow up on the army of Spirit, but don't get a huge hits, but this secondary force of Lambo with the Marines kill the 5th, kill the 3rd, and Spirit is just running out of steam here. +3 is underway for Lambo, and the clock is just, it just keeps on ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Here comes the clock, and this is not the Hunger Games where you can take your time to realize that it is indeed a clock. No, you should have realized earlier. And Lambo takes the second game, and with that, the entire series of Spirit and Lambo, where they played some juicy off-lane. This is not Dota. Some off-race matches. I like to see these. I know that there's a couple more, so we're gonna get... I'm gonna show all the off-race matches that happened in the second round of this tournament, because I think it's just kind of cool to see these players that, you know, they'll always be playing Zerg for you. I mean, heck, Lambo's probably streaming right now, playing Zerg for the people. But yeah. Now we get to see him play some other pieces in tournament, which I think is just really cool. Guys, thank you all for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this cast. Let me know down below if you think that I should cast any other games, or what you've been drinking during the drinking rules. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.